Hey guys, welcome to another video. And this video I'll be showing you how to restore your DRM functions or features for your unlocked bootloader device, or when you unlock your bootloader, right? It deletes your DRM keys or your TA partition so that most of your features like good camera quality, like noise reduction and other things related to camera and speakers, like this. If you can see currently, if I look in a dark area, it looks really bad. See if I can get this on camera. Like you can see a lot of purple on it. So before that, you would actually capture a purpley image like this, and it'll do some post-processing to make it look like a bajillion times better. And this works for the Z to the Z3. I currently have the Z over here because on my Z3 I kind of need that for now, so I won't be able to do many modifications on it. But this one has an unlocked bootloader, and the principle is exactly the same for the the Z3. So to get started, I'll provide links for the Z3 down below, like the recoveries and all that. But I'll be demoing it on a Xperia Z. So don't be worried. Rest assured that the steps are exactly the same, apart from one of the files that you download, which I'll get on later. So you'll need to download the DRM restore function zip, which you can be achieved by visiting this thread here on XDA, and then just scrolling down to here, near the middle of the first post, and you can see you can click me to download, and this takes you to a MediaFire website. So I already have this file downloaded, and MediaFire is a little bit slow here. So you're going to need to download that immediately, and next you're going to need to download Xperia Foam. So this is, if you haven't, well, I think you should use this anyway. This is probably one of the coolest things ever made for Xperia devices. So basically it's an application on your desktop that works, I think it's only on Windows, but it does allow you to download firmwares for every single Xperia phone there. I can demo it right here. I have it installed, and you'll also need FlashTool, which can be downloaded from here via magnet link or direct download. I find that downloading via a torrent client is much faster than downloading it directly, so go ahead and download this as well. And lastly, you'll need a recovery for your phone. So since I'm doing the Z on this video, I'll be using Z files, but for the Z3 I'll be leaving down links for the specific recoveries that you'll need down below. Alrighty, so what you want to do now, since this works for any Xperia device from the Z to the Z3, will now need to download a recovery for your device, or a kernel, in fact, because the Xperia series does not have a recovery, but like a proper recovery partition, you could say. It kind of goes off the kernel, so the boot partition. So up in the top left corner of XDA, you can type in your model. So mine's just the Xperia Z. But if you have the Z3, this will work the same, or the Z2 or the Z1. These are based off steps that work on the Z3, so it should be alright. Whoops. Alright, so just locate a recovery for your device. Should be here. We'll just quickly have a look for a recovery. Here we are. Teamwin recovery project will do, which is always good. Alright. So make sure you find a recovery for your device. That should be it. And when you have downloaded all the items here, well, the last item we'll need to download is FlashTool as well. So head over to the downloads page, and you should download via a torrent or magnet link, which is usually much faster than uploaded, because it kind of has like maximum download speed when you're using a torrent client. So I would recommend using that instead of a file host. So that'll just get the job done quickly. So now we have, so once you download FlashTool, you want to extract it, all the files inside. Actually, it's an installer, I think, so install it just to any directory. You can change it if you want. And you also want to extract Xperia Foam onto the same folder as Flash Tool, and you also want to move your recovery that we've just downloaded to the same folder as everything else, so into the Flash Tool folder. And that should be all you need. And also I forgot to mention that you also need the Android tools, so the platform tools with the ADB and Fastboot. So, and just copy that to the same folder as Flash Tool if you want to. So I'm going to go ahead and copy these files to the Flash Tool. So it's a bit confusing. So you can need Fastboot, at least the Fastboot file, you need it there. You need Xperi-Firm, and you need your TeamWin Recovery project, which you can extract here. And you also need Flash Tool. So, that was a bit silly, hold on. We'll get rid of meta-inf. And you should have recovery.image here. Now, what we need to do to get started is to open up Xperi-Firm. And this will locate or download a list of devices. So select yours from the list on the left here. And so this is the Xperia Z C6603. And you want to select one of your market region. So here I'm in Australia, and it was a Vodafone device, so it'll check the latest release here, and you click on one of these, the latest one, 292, and it should pop up with a downloader. So this is when you want to click download and just choose any folder, doesn't really matter. And once you've done that, once that finished downloading, it should only take like an hour or two. Open up Flash Tool 64-bit if you're on 64-bit computer. If not, run 32 or just a standard one, Flash Tool. And you just want to wait for this to finish. And what we want to do now is to create a flashable FTF file. I think that's what it's called. That you've like with the files that you've downloaded with the Xperi-Firm application. So what you want to do is go over to Tools, Bundles, and then hit Create, and locate where it is. I just saved it into the firmwares folder of Flash Tool, so no problems there. Just locate to firmwares, and the folder it has been extracted to. So this is a C6603. Hit OK, and then you want to select every single file except for any TA files, like the cast to reset one. So you can hold Shift and then hold Control to deselect that one, and hit the right arrow like that, and then hit the Create button down below. Oh, sorry. Before you do that, you got to fill in your device when you double click on it. So find your whichever phone you have. Branding, you can just type in the international, unlocked, whatever, and version doesn't really matter. So create that. That should only take around 10 minutes. And once you have done that, we need to place the our zip there with the DRM restore. We need to place that onto the external SD card of your phone, so it doesn't get wiped. So plug in your phone, and we should get it. And all you need to do is just copy it to your phone. See, it should look like this, zip, and wait for our phone to be detected. Oh, it's over here. Alright. Not. Okay, now. So just move it over to the SD card. This one's quite full. And just drag that over, copy it. Alright, cool. Now once it's done, let's close that, close this, and you can pretty much get rid of the website there. Open up back up Flash Tool. I'll just zoom in here. So now what you want to do is, so there are a couple tricks to this. Whenever it finishes like loading or flashing the files like here, you want to unplug your phone and make sure it doesn't restart fully. If it does, hold the power and both volume buttons like this. You can't really see that, but both volume buttons and the power button, and make it shut off, and then get it back into flash mode, or try leave it turned off, because after a while it does restart itself. So once our FTF has been created and you've moved the DRM restore file there, all you need to do now is to flash your device, flash the stock firmware back. So select the correct one and just leave all this and all that, and you want to hit flash. Now this will prepare stuff to flash, like extracting all the files and all that. So this is what we want it to do. So we'll just give it a sec for it to make everything happen, and I'll be back when that's done. Alright, cool. So once this is open, that means you can plug your phone in and get into flash mode. So what you want to do is turn it off, like so. And when it says hold the back button, really means the volume down, as the Xperia devices do not have physical buttons. So hold volume down and plug in your USB. And you should be greeted with a quick red and green light flash. And that's when it goes into flash mode. So you want to wait for all this to flash, and this actually takes about 10 minutes. So, or 10 or 5, and we'll be back with the process after. So after this, the idea is to factory reset it, flash a custom recovery, factory reset, and then flash this again. And then you want to relock the bootloader, flash it again, and then unlock, flash recovery, and then install the zip, and then we can let it fully boot. So between that time and there, we should not let it restart into the system. So I'll be back when the flashing finishes. Alright, so at this point I do think it is almost done. So right after this, we're going to flash a custom recovery. So when it does say finished, you want to unplug your device pretty much immediately as soon as it has indicated it's finished flashing. So just leave it plugged into this mode for now, and we shall see in a couple of minutes when we do restart it. Alrighty, so it's just finishing up here. The progress bar is almost done. So that's when we want to get this ready. Okay, so it's finished now. So disconnect it and make sure it doesn't turn on. So just leave it at that screen. And then what you want to do is hold volume up and plug in your device. Oops, like so. Oh, come on. And it should come up with a blue light. So that's when your phone is connected into fast boot mode. So you want to go back to your fast boot folder, sorry, flash tool folder, and you want to hold shift and right click. So open command window here, and that's when you should get, just resize this, that's when you should get this command prompt open. And all you need to do is type in fast boot, flash, recover, boot. Actually, yeah, you don't have to worry about this because we will be changing a few steps later on. But in this case, make sure you type boot instead of recovery, and just follow the rest of the steps. So it will be fast boot space flash space boot space, and you drag in the file as normal. And this will replace your kernel with the TWRP recovery, so you automatically boot into that. So as you can see, it might not be the partition, so we'll flash it into the boot partition, like so, and that should be okay. Now next, you just want to take it out and restart it. Alright, so now we're in the recovery. So you want to hit wipe, and you just want to factory reset that. Alright, cool. Hit back, and then you want to hit the reboot menu, and you want to hit power off. And you don't need to install Super SU. And this is when you leave it powered off, and this is where you want to flash the firmware again. So hit the lightning bolt icon, and then click OK. And select your firmware here, and hit flash. And you're going to wait for it to prepare the files first, and then after that we'll begin the flashing process once more again. So this time I'll skip to all the way to near the end of the second flashing process, where we will relock the bootloader and do it again, and then continue on with the rest of the steps. Alright, so it looks like it's pretty much done here. So now we want to disconnect our phone again, and now we need to relock the bootloader. So you want to go bootloader unlock, and then we're going to wait for flash mode again. So hold volume down and plug the USB cable in, like so. And that should get in. And this is when we need to relock the bootloader. Once you're relocked, you disconnect your phone and hold volume down so it gets to that red light. See how it turns on? Just hold all the buttons down until it forces itself off, like that. Okay, cool. So yeah, you gotta be pretty prepared for all this. Here it is again. Just make sure it's all off. Alright. So now we need to flash the image again. So, okay. This thing doesn't want to turn on. So I think get it back into flash mode. Like that, and hold volume down. Okay, so in this case, you actually want to hold down all the buttons until it turns off. As soon as it turns off, and you have the USB plugged in already, you just want to hold volume down so it goes into flash mode automatically. So as soon as the screen turns off, just try to get it back into flash mode so it doesn't actually turn on. So now we need to flash the firmware again, and this should be the final time we do this. During this time, make sure the phone doesn't turn on as well, otherwise we'll have a few problems when we get back up. So let's make sure the phone is off at all times. Well, not turning on at least. So now we're starting to flash, which is good. And now we sit back and wait. So after this, we'll be relocking the bootloader again and making sure the phone doesn't turn on all the way. And then putting it into fastboot mode and flashing recovery. And then we shall flash the DRM restore, and we should have it restored after. So I'll be back when we're up to that part. Alright, so one last thing before we actually flash the package, also the DRM restore. I realized that we needed to get a kernel here instead of actually flashing the TWRP to the boot recovery, sorry, the boot partition. So I'll provide a link to this advanced stock kernel with CWM. Here, just click and download it. Start in a couple of seconds, and that is the one we actually need to download instead of the TWRP. So have that handy as well, and that should download quite quickly. And just move it over to your FlashTool folder, just for the sake of convenience, I guess. So I'll wait for that to finish downloading. And also FlashTool is almost finished flashing, which means we can get on with unlocking the bootloader, and then actually flashing the DRM restore package. Almost done with the FlashTool, and our recovery has finished downloading. So just close that, open up your FlashTool folder, and just drag in the boot image from there. Just like that. And now this is almost done, which means we will need to unplug this as soon as it does finish. About now. So make sure your phone doesn't turn back on. Alright. Because relocking the bootloader and all that, and unlocking it does trigger a reboot. So hit on that BLU or bootloader unlock and put your device into flash mode. So hold volume down and plug it back in. That's right. And that will unlock the bootloader here. And then as soon as you press unlock, start holding up the volume up button. Just like that. Just start holding it up. And your phone should restart, hopefully. Once you click close. So when you click close, just make sure you have the volume up holding. You should get a blue light here. That means you're in fastboot mode. So down here, we need to now type in fastboot flash boot, and dragging the boot image here that we extracted from our CWM Doomlord kernel. So hit enter, and that will flash the boot. And this is when you want to enter recovery. So unplug your device here and just turn it on normally. And when you get a light at the top corner here, or on the other side if you're at Z3, hold volume down and you should be able to enter recovery. Like that. And this is when you want to select install zip from the external SD card. And apply the DRM restore here. Hit yes. And this should flash itself. Pretty easy. And it looks like it's finished. Then we just go back and restart the system fully. And you can actually root your device, which is no problemo. So we'll do that as well. And after this reboot, we should have DRM functions restored. And I do believe I have a camera sample from a unlocked, like one without DRM and one with. And it's actually quite noticeable. There's definitely like zero noise almost when you take photos with the DRM still intact. If not, then you're going to have a lot of noise in it. So we'll wait for this phone to boot up now, and we'll have a look at the camera shortly after. Alright, so I did have a few photos taken, and you will not believe the change it has actually made. So hold your phones, hold your pants, and hold your socks, because you're about to be blown to bits. Alright, so this is a photo before. You can see there's a lot of noise there if I just tilt it around. A lot of purple on the outsides here and all around the subject, which is the LG G watch if you're interested. And this is from the viewfinder here. Now if we just get that back up. And after processing, it looks like that. So if you want to see that in action and you don't think I just did that for giggles or something, I shall now take the camera off its tripod and try get it to kind of give it. Alright, so you can see the noise here, kind of really purpley. If I take the photo, and bam, a lot of noise reduction by far. Look at that, it's pretty much perfect. So this has actually been a pretty good tutorial, I reckon, in restoring DRM functions on your Xperia device. So thank you guys for watching, and I will like to talk to you in the next one. But before you guys go, if you want to stay and listen, I do have a channel announcement to be made that because my studies have increased this year for year 11 and 12, over the next 2 years, there may be limited videos that are coming out, but I do have a lot of footage recorded. I just need to find time to render it and kind of edit it and upload it. So thank you guys for being so awesome for the past year or so. It's just been great, almost having 1,000 subscribers within a couple years. So thank you guys for watching, and thanks for supporting me.